Every day, you're faced with hundreds of decisions. Some are small, like choosing what to eat for breakfast or having a snack, while others are big, like deciding on what university course you want to do or deciding on a career path. But have you ever wondered how you make these choices? Let's go into the science behind decision making. Decision theory is basically the science of making choices. It imagines that your brain is like a computer running on an algorithm that's figuring out the next best move. It combines maths, logic and psychology to help predict the outcomes of your decisions when things are uncertain. And here's the crazy thing, you've been doing it without even knowing it. Back in the 17th century, Blaise Pascal and Pierre de Fermat laid the groundwork by studying probability. You may know Blaise Pascal from Pascal's Wager, where he argues that you should believe in God because it's the most optimal way to guarantee yourself a positive outcome. Now fast forward to the 1940s and John von Neumann and Oscar Morgenstern introduced the concept of expected utility, revolutionizing how we think about choices. Two major theories emerged. Expected utility theory, which suggests that we make decisions to maximize expected outcomes, and prospect theory, which explains why we value gains and losses differently, often leading to irrational choices. Expected utility theory is one of the foundations of decision theory. The idea is simple. When you're faced with two options, you should pick the one that gives the highest expected benefit and not just the one that looks good in the moment. Let's look at expected utility theory in a bit more depth. Let's say you're thinking about switching careers. Here's how decision theory can help you out. Step 1. List your options. Stay in your current job, move to a new field, or start your own business. You start by identifying all the realistic paths that you can take in your career. Step 2. Assign probabilities. Next, think about how likely each option is to give you a positive outcome. Probabilities are just estimates. Let's say that staying in your job has a 90% chance of giving you some sort of positive outcome, whereas going to a new field has a 50% chance of getting you a positive outcome, whereas getting your own business only has a 20% chance. Step 3. Assign utilities. How much do you value things like boredom, salary, work-life balance, or excitement? Staying in your current job might be comfortable, but not very exciting and not very fulfilling. So I can assign that a value of 7 arbitrary points. A new field would be challenging but rewarding. I can assign it 15 points. And owning your own business, while it might be incredibly tough, has some huge potential. Being your own boss, deciding your working hours, lots of positives, so we can give it 50 arbitrary points. The utility points are entirely down to you and your values. Step 4. Calculate the expected utility. You'd multiply the probability of a positive outcome by the utility points that you assigned, and then you would compare. So for each of our fields, staying in your current job gives you an expected utility of 6.3 arbitrary points. Going into a new field gives you 7.5, and starting your own business gives you 10. So according to expected utility theory, starting your own business gives the highest expected utility, but the risk is much higher. This is where you might want to take a balance of risk versus reward. The key takeaway is that expected utility theory doesn't tell you what feels safe or scary. It shows you the option that gives the best trade-off between chance and value. And in a way, our brain is constantly doing this. Decision theory isn't just academic. It's used in economics, politics, medicine, and even in your day-to-day life. From voting decisions to shopping habits, understanding how we make choices can lead to better outcomes. Decision theory is not perfect. It makes a couple of assumptions. It assumes that we're rational, but in reality, we are often influenced by our biases and our emotions, which leads us to make less than optimal choices. Human beings also famously don't understand probability. If you have a gambler who's at a roulette table, predicting whether or not it's going to land on black or red, let's just say it's a 50% chance of both, and it's landed on red 3 times, the gambler will often say, wow, it must land on black. But that's not true. That's not how probability works. It's always going to be a 50% chance. But in a nutshell, that's decision theory. So next time you're faced with a decision, don't forget that your brain is constantly running an algorithm trying to find the best choice for you. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to check out my others. They're slightly different style to this. If you've really enjoyed it, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. And join us at the Wonder Collective. Thanks for watching. Bye!